Hello and welcome to Word Wednesday. Today's word is criticism, so let's check it out. Well, I'm Pastor Blair. Welcome to Word Wednesday, where this is a time I take to talk about what I've been experiencing and relate it to the Bible, whether it's all sorts of crazy stuff. And so one of the words that I've been struggling with, and one of the things I've been struggling with has been criticism. And we all face criticism in some way, shape, or form, and they always say that we are our own worst critics. But there's also naysayers out there that people have criticized us of the way that we do things and handle things, and because it is not done the way that they want it or the way that they think it should be done or how they would do it, they tend to criticize and make things worse instead of being a partner in ministry, and it can cause a lot of headaches. It has caused me a lot of headaches. And so this brings us to um, the fact that I've learned over the last, I would say, 5, 6 years, and it's been a long process to learn that you don't need to fight the critics. Um, One of my favorite books of the Bible is, or not one, but the favorite book that I have. If someone's asking what's your favorite book of the Bible, that would be Nehemiah. I love Nehemiah's leadership. I love Nehemiah's ability to get people together to work towards a common cause, despite the things that is thrown at him. The fact that he was a noble man, that he did not ask the king to go, and he went, and the people looked at him like a mayor or a governor, but he said, no, my work is done. I'm going to go back to the king, go back to my position serving the king. He could have just said, forget the king, forget going back to my job. I'm just going to stay here and help and lead these people. But he was true to his word, and that's one of the things that I love about Nehemiah. And so in the book of Nehemiah, the New Living Translation puts it this way in chapter 6, verses 3 through 4 of Nehemiah. Chapter 6, 3 through 4 says this. So I replied by sending this message to them. I'm engaged in a great work, so I cannot come. Why should I stop working to come and meet with you? 4 times they sent the same message, and each time I gave them the same reply. One thing that I've learned is that God has uniquely created you for an important assignment on earth that only you can accomplish. God has uniquely created you for an important assignment on earth that you can accomplish. And I don't know what that is for me. I know that one day that mission is going to be revealed, and I believe right now that maybe I'm in that mission, or maybe God is using this ministry as a pastor in a way to help guide and show me the important assignment that He has for me that only I can accomplish. God has laid many different things on my heart to do outside of the ministry realm to help other people. And maybe that's my assignment. Maybe it is to start a nonprofit that has different umbrellas that a lot of these things fall into the context of as a nonprofit. Who knows? Um, but along the way, I've faced naysayers, and along the way of your life, you have faced naysayers, and they all tell you you're the wrong person, you got the wrong idea, you're doing it the wrong way. I remember a conversation I had with my mom one time because she got angry about how someone did something, and I was like, Mom, you're being ridiculous. They got the task done, even though it wasn't A, B, C, D the way you would have done it. They went B, C, D, A. It still got done. And the thing is, a lot of criticism comes in. We want it done our way. And if it's not done our way and the way we like it, then it's easy for us to criticize. And when we look at the Old Testament, Nehemiah, for example, wasn't a pastor or a priest. He was a businessman. Israel had been taken captive by the Babylons, but The Israelites had been in exile for 70 years, and the Babylonians let them go home. But when they went home, Jerusalem had been destroyed and they were defenseless. But Nehemiah got this big idea to change that. He said, I would rebuild my city. That's what he thought. And it started with this rebuilding the walls to protect it. And that's all that it started with, was this vision and this idea. Nehemiah stories teaches us that every opportunity comes with opposition. Nehemiah was opposed. Nehemiah had opposition, and it was intense. So intense that the people that he was leading and working, he had them working with in one hand a hammer, the other hand a weapon, just in case the enemies didn't want to see Jerusalem rebuilt. They tried all sorts of things to stop him from rebuilding the walls. They tried ridiculous rumors and threats, and when none of that worked, they tried to slow him down by involving him in a bunch of meetings. Whoa, I hate meetings. The critics and the naysayers who wanted to prevent him from doing the Lord's work called him to these meetings, and Nehemiah was constantly on top of it. He said, but instead of listening to them, responded the way that, Nehemiah did. Is that what we have to do when we face criticism, is to just respond like Nehemiah. And, that's the thing, that your critics and naysayers who want to prevent you from doing what the Lord has called you to do will use the same bag of tricks. They'll ridicule you, spread rumors about you, and even threaten you to get you to stop doing God's work. But like I said, we need to listen to what Nehemiah said in verse 3 and 4 of chapter 6. And I'll read that to you again. I reply by sending this message to them. I'm engaged in great work, so I can't come. Why should I stop working to come and meet with you? 4 times they sent the same message, and each time I gave the same reply. So you don't need to fight the naysayers. It's not worth it. If you try to take on people who have negative opinion about God's plan for you, that's just a waste of time. Stay the course, stay on what God has given you to do. Nehemiah didn't defend his work. He didn't need to defend, and you don't need to defend yourself either. Just let the naysayers' criticism go. One day God's work, one day God will work through your life, will be proven correct. Having enough faith to wait for that day to come is what we're called to do. And so I want you to think about a couple of questions. Why is it hard to ignore naysayers? Have you faced opposition and naysayers as you follow God? And what might you say to the naysayers based on what you've learned about what Nehemiah said? It's about staying the course what God has called you to do until you know that it is complete or taking a different direction. So with that, good luck facing whatever criticism comes your way. Know that God's plan is bigger than the criticism, the ridicule, the torment, whatever may come. And stay faithful like Nehemiah to the task that God has called you to. Take care, God bless, and remember, the best is yet to come, and hope you can pop in for our next word next week on Word Wednesday. Take care.